You know, the cold chill of winter definitely hits different, and that is the perfect time for winter horror movies. When everything is buried in snow, when help feels like it's a million miles away, and the cold itself feels like it's out to get you, that's when horror movies really thrive. And I know there are some major winter horror movies out there: Misery, The Shining, and of course, The Thing. Those are obvious choices. They are legendary. They are untouchable. So today, I wanted to dig just a little bit deeper. So I have 10 winter and snowbound horror movies that lean into that isolation, dread, monsters, and survival, and they might just be a little bit overlooked or maybe completely forgotten. So if you're snowed in, cold, feeling that chill in the air of winter, and looking for something dark and cozy and spooky to watch, I've got the list for you right here. Pop that tape in. I got you. Let's go do this. Alright, so winter horror movies with the snow, the chill in the air, a little cozy, a little scary. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's jump right into the list, starting at number 10 with 2021's The Werewolves Within. This is set in a snowbound, small Vermont town, and Werewolves Within basically traps a group of locals inside a small inn during a brutal blizzard, while something outside starts killing them one by one. It plays out kind of like The Thing meets Clue, with paranoia driving every conversation and every decision, good or otherwise. The winter storm in this one, though, isn't just atmosphere. It kind of forces everything together. It amplifies the mistrust and turns personality clashes into basically survival threats. So if you like sort of the small town, suspicious, what's going on type horror movies, creature features with humor, and the snowbound mystery aspect, this is a great sort of modern cult pick. Not going to be for everyone. It might take more than one watch, but that's what long, cold winters are for. So Werewolves Within kicks us off at number 10. All right, coming in at number 9, we go to Stephen King. He does atmosphere great, and winter atmosphere is some of the best in horror. So check out 2003's Dreamcatcher. This is one of the strangest and most divisive Stephen King adaptations ever. Is it in here? Pennywise? Bob Gray? I think so. But the main story here is 4 childhood friends reunite at a remote cabin in the wintertime, only for an alien infection and government containment and psychological trauma to come back on them in a big way. The snow isolates them physically from everyone else, so it plays a big part. And their sort of shared past, shared trauma, their backstory kind of traps them together emotionally in this one. So if you enjoy Stephen King adaptations that swing big, because this one swings very big with a big, great cast in this one. If you like winter set sort of sci-fi horror that maybe connects overall to the big Stephen King mythology, early 2000s genre chaos, this one's worth revisiting. Go in watching it thinking that just maybe Pennywise is actually in this movie. Check it out from that perspective. Dreamcatcher comes in at number 9. All right, coming in at number 8, we have 2006's The Last Winter. And I actually have this one here. I recently just got this as part of my Vinegar Syndrome physical media subscription, and it was the first time I've ever seen it, and I'm recommending it to you. It is a slow burn sort of Arctic horror film centered on a oil drilling crew that's stationed at a frozen wasteland. Now, this has a big cast for sort of more low budget horror. You've got Ron Perlman in this film. You have several other faces you're going to recognize, oddly enough, from the television show Friday Night Lights. But as an environmental damage mounts during this sequence, they start having strange visions and paranoia starts to take over. That's a common theme with winter snowbound horror films. And it sort of suggests that nature itself might be fighting back. And this one is very cold and oppressive. You feel that in the movie. The isolation is absolute. Everybody's trying to copy what The Thing did. You don't get to that level, but there's those vibes there. And so it's perfect for fans of eco horror, this sort of atmospheric dread, the sort of Arctic survival stories. All of that, you're going to get it in here with faces you recognize in a movie you might have missed. This is The Last Winter, and it comes in at number 8. Now, at number 7 is 2010's Frozen. And no, not that one. We're not letting it go and all that kind of stuff. So not the animated Frozen. This is one that has 3 friends who get stranded on a ski lift after the resort shuts down, which seems terrifying. And there are freezing temperatures, snow, wild animals, and no rescue coming to save them. There's no supernatural threats here in this one, just bad decisions, the brutal cold of winter, and time running out. It's very much a ticking time bomb type movie. So if you like survival horror, very minimalist movies, high tension films, sort of real world fear factor scenarios, then this one is painfully effective in that regard. So very different take here, very snowbound, very claustrophobic, while also being wide and expansive in the location. Very interesting mix for Frozen coming in at number 7. Now at number 6, we go back to my Vinegar Syndrome subscription, and one that I got right along with The Last Winter, and it is a high recommend. It is Wendigo, and this one is deeply atmospheric. This is very much a folk horror film in a lot of ways. The Wendigo is a very mythological folk monster, and it's very much rooted in Native American legend. A family relocates to a snowy rural town where an ancient hunger begins to creep into their lives. So this movie thrives on the winter and forest isolation, winter folklore. It's definitely a folk horror film, and more unease over spectacle. There's some of the what you don't see kind of thing is scarier. So if you enjoy kind of like a slow burn and a myth driven horror, this is very much a hidden gem for you right here. I put it on about an equal playing field with The Last Winter, though The Last Winter is going to have a much bigger and more recognizable cast where you're going to get a little more into the mythology and creature feature aspect here with Wendigo. Both high recommends. Check it out. It comes in at number 6. Now, coming in at number 5 is one that I am partial to. I admit it. I have this weird thing for like Bigfoot and Yeti kind of thing, so I have to recommend 2006's Abominable. This is pure creature feature throwback, and I am 100% here for this. A man is confined to a wheelchair, and he believes a monstrous Yeti-like, Bigfoot, abominable snowman creature is stalking his snow-covered neighborhood, and nobody believes him. So this is kind of like Rear Window or Disturbia for you younger folks, but with an actual snow monster in it in the wintertime. So it delivers 100% on practical creature effects, something I'm very partial to. Cozy B-movie energy, straightforward winter horror fun with a legit monster. This one is perfect for late night viewing and to have a good time, get all the snow vibes, monster vibes, a little Bigfoot type thing here. This one, you see me smiling. This is a fun time. Abominable. Check it out. It comes in at number 5. Now, number 4 turns the dial from fun, creature feature, B-movie to something much more serious. It's 2015's We are still here. A grieving couple moves into an isolated New England house only to uncover a violent, supernatural sort of ghost history involved here. The winter setting in this one reinforces sort of the emotional coldness and the grief that they are going through, the grief, the isolation, but then there is a legitimate ancient sort of rage and evil underneath the snow. And this one delivers. First of all, it's got Barbara Crampton in it, and she's one of my favorites. It's got old school practical gore, a slow sort of confident build, even though it's not a very long runtime here, and a very explosive final act in this one. A modern winter horror standout with some haunted house vibes, and you get to see stuff on screen. It's not just things moving. Check out We Are Still Here. It comes in at number 4. All right, it's time to turn it back again onto another channel of some crazy, fun 80s B-movie oddities. I'm talking 1985's Blood Tracks. Listen, you're going to be singing that if you watch this movie. This one is a forgotten 80s slasher oddity that I have had an absolute ball watching a couple of times. A heavy metal band travels to a snowy mountain retreat and someone starts killing them off. It's sleazy. I'm talking super sleazy. It is violent. I'm talking super violent. Think The Hills Have Eyes, but with like giallo, red, thick Dayglow blood in this thing. It's extremely, extremely VHS, mom and pop video rental store era perfection. The snow creates isolation and turns every kill into a very striking visual. They're on location in the snow. They actually bury people in a car in the snow, and they have no clothes on, and you can see where they had to do multiple takes and drag them across the snow, and they have red booties and legs from them being on the snow so much. So the snow is real. You feel the cold. This is perfect for slasher completionists. You got to see every slasher movie out there. If you're an 80s horror fan, a B-movie horror fan, you're looking for deep cult, like deep cut cult discoveries, all that kind of stuff, and just some fun winter horror with some rock music in it that you've never seen. Check out Blood Tracks. You will have a good time. It comes in at number 3. Now, number 2 is one that I can't remember for sure, but I am almost positive I recommended around this time last year, because anytime I can have a chance to promote this movie, I will, because it is just criminally underseen. It is 2014's Dark Was the Night. Now, there's several movies that go by this name. This one stars Kevin Durand, and the minute you see him, if you don't know who he is, look him up. You'll be like, oh yes, that guy. And he is a really good and underrated actor, and this one is seriously underrated all the way through. It's set in a remote, snow-covered logging town where they start dealing with strange animal attacks and disappearances that start plaguing the area, suggesting that something is stalking them from the forest that has been disturbed because people are cutting down trees where they were not supposed to. The big evil logging company. Kevin Durand grounds this movie as the small town sheriff. I always liked that vibe. It's very cozy, small town, snow. He's got a world weary, weight of the world kind of performance on his shoulders in this one. Very haunted performance, very good. And the winter setting keeps everything claustrophobic and tense. Eventually everybody kind of ends up in one place together. The movie excels at atmosphere over jump scares, which is something that I'm really partial to. You've got the winter and forest isolation. You've got actual on-screen creatures that you're going to see, so I love that. So if you like movies like The Grey or The Ritual, or you like small town horror, this is absolutely your kind of horror movie. Dark Was the Night comes in at number 2. Now at number 1, if we have to leave off The Shining, we have to leave off The Thing, and we have to leave off Misery, there is one other film that is the absolute gold standard of winter horror movies. It is 30 Days of Night. Now this stars Josh Hartnett, who's one of secretly my favorite actors out there. He always has been. You have a remote Alaskan town that enters a month-long what's called polar night. So the sun never rises for like a month, 30 days of night. And a pack of vicious, ancient vampires descends upon this small town. No sunlight, no escape, no mercy. And these vampires are not your twinkling, fancy vampires. They're not the vampire Lestat. None of that kind of stuff. These are vicious, evil, cold, animalistic vampires that just do not care about anything. They have no soul, no conscience. They are evil predators. So it is a relentless horror film. Brutal vampires, a harsh winter setting that truly delivers. This one is untouchable. If the others are on the Mount Rushmore, maybe this one takes the spot next to them as 4 of the greatest winter horror films of all time. 30 Days of Night comes in at number 1. So there you go. Yes, in my opinion, The Thing and The Shining will always rule at the top of winter horror films, with Misery right there underneath. But these films on this list prove that there's a whole lot more good, fun, and scary horror films trapped just beneath the snow right there. So if you're stuck inside this winter that's just getting started and you're looking for something cold and atmospheric, a little scary, a little fun, a little dark and intense, you now have a list of options. So let me know which one of these you're watching first. Have you seen any of these? I want to know. And if there's any others that you think I should watch, please let me know, because winter is horror season and it's just getting started. And that's what I got for you today. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And if you want to help support the channel even more, you can join my Patreon. The link is down in the description box. I will also try to link these movies on physical media, or if you can find them on streaming. I always recommend support physical media, but if you can try before you buy, this is the time, and I'll try to help you out with that. And if you want to join that Patreon, you're going to get your name and lights on every single video, behind the scenes looks at my filmmaking, special members only videos where we dive deep into movies like this and how good they look on physical media, and so much more. And everything helps support the channel, and I really do appreciate it. But until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye. That's one down. I know.